Okay, so in the previous lesson, what we had done was set up the basic shapes for the rest of the body. So what we're going to do in this lesson is now make this a little more realistic, because it simply just has to go through phases, right? So we've got the basic shape down, and now we're going to basically make it more human-like. So what we want to do is make sure that we are in our front view. Then here I'm going to go ahead and switch to edit mode. And I'm also going to go ahead and make sure that this is selected. Okay. And let's go ahead and turn this off. So it should be grayed out. And the other thing that I'm also going to make sure is the snapping is on and you're still on increment. And make sure that under the mesh edges, under the rotate edge, you're just going to right click at shortcut, hover via mouse and do Control A. So this is the same shortcut that we've been using. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to basically equalize these edge loops over here before we can manipulate this body. So what I want you to do is make sure that you are in the vertex select mode and just click on this vertex and press the shift key down and go ahead and select this one. Then do X, and now you're going to do dissolve edges. So you'll see that it'll simply just separate over here. So this becomes an n-gon over here, right? More than 4 sides. So here I'm going to do the middle mouse button to rotate over here. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to do X and I'm going to do dissolve edges. Now the reason we did this is because we need to actually add an edge loop over here. So if I do Control R, you'll see that it goes in the front and the back. So I'm going to do left click and then right click. So now we can simply click on this one and press the letter J to join. Okay, so if I press J, you'll see what it does. It simply adds an edge, and it also figures out how to solve the faces for you. And the cool thing about this is that you can actually, let's say, click on this vertex and click something far away, and it will basically, like the knife tool, automatically figure it out for you. Okay. So anyways, go ahead and click on this one, shift key down, click on this one, and now press J, and you'll see that it does the same thing over here. So now what this allows us to do is add an edge loop right over here. So I'm going to do Control R, I'll hover my mouse like this, left click, and then right click. I'm going to do the same thing in the back. Control R, just like this, left click, and then right click. So I'm going to do the same thing. Click on these 2 vertices and press the letter J to join. Okay, and if you go up over here, you'll also get them right over here. Click on these 2 and press J to join. Go ahead and middle mouse button to rotate in the front, and we're going to do select on this one, shift key down, select on this one, and J to join, and shift middle mouse button to pan up. Now go ahead and right click this one, shift and click on this one, and J to join. Then the front view. Okay, so now we've equalized these edge loops over here. So what we want to do is now do this horizontally. So I'm going to do Control R. You can see that there one edge loop is missing. So I'm going to do left click and right click to equalize this. Shift middle mouse button, go up. You'll see one over here. Control R, left click and right click. So this is the area for the knee. So I'm going to do Control R, left click, right click, Control R, left click and right click, and finally Control R, left click and right click, and A to D select, right? So now we have everything equalized over here. So now what we want to do is I'm just going to rotate this a little bit over here. Now I have to zoom out a little bit to show you some stuff. So you're going to do Alt and right click this. So what this is going to do is simply select all the edges here on the corner. I'm going to do Shift and Alt key and then right click over here. So you can see that we're selecting the edges over here, right? And it will simply select everything down over here too. And we'll stop over here. Now I'm going to middle mouse button to rotate. I'm going to do the same thing over here on these edges. Shift Alt and right click to select this. And then Shift middle mouse button to pan and then rotate this. And just click it over here. Shift Alt and right click over here. So we'll see that we've got everybody selected over here. We now need to do the same thing for the arms over here. Middle mouse button to rotate. Shift Alt and go ahead and click on this. And then middle mouse button to rotate. Shift Alt and click on this. Middle mouse button to rotate. Come to the front. Shift Alt. Click on this. And then middle mouse button to rotate. I'm going to Shift Alt and then click over here. Okay. So now go to the front view by pressing 1 and just shift middle mouse button to pan over here. Press the C key to bring up the circle select, and remember you can do the scroll wheel. So what you want to do is go ahead and just select on this vertex, this one, and now go ahead and select this. And you're simply going to come down all the way over here like so. Okay, and shift middle mouse button. So I'm going to select everything all the way down over here, right? So you need to select it in this pattern. Don't select anything over here. So what this pattern is, it will allow us to shape the human form very quickly. Now, before we can do anything, we don't want to touch this area of the hand. So if I do middle mouse button to rotate, you can see that everything that's where this curvature is, where you're following the mouse, I don't want you to select anything over here. So press the 1 key to go into your front view, press Z, and now you can simply do B, the letter B in middle mouse button, and you can draw a box and it'll deselect everything. So if I do Z, middle mouse button to rotate, you can see that I simply deselected everything the hand because I don't want to touch this area. Press 1 to go into your front view, zoom out, shift middle mouse button to pan up, and we're going to do the same thing over here. We have the foot defined already, and this here on the ankle, we don't want these vertices. So I'm going to do Z to go into wireframe, press this circle select. I'm going to do middle mouse button to deselect everybody over here, right click to get out of it, and Z. You can see that nothing is selected over here. Okay, so now we're ready to start manipulating stuff. So I'm going to do Control 1 to go into the back view. So you're going to come over here, you'll see that this is the corner. So you're going to do Shift and right click on these two vertices to deselect them, then do middle mouse button to rotate slightly over here. And basically there's 3 vertices here on the top of the going near the top of the hand over here. They're going to do have the shift key down and right click 1, 2, and 3. You're going to deselect these 3. Now press the 1 key to go into your front view. So over here you see that it's curving in, then it's going to go on top, and then right on this vertex, shift and right click to deselect this one over here and deselect this guy. You're also going to deselect this one over here, and then finally this one. So this is the first pattern that we have to deselect. So you're going to do W and you're going to do smooth 1 time. Now I'm going to do Shift and go ahead and deselect this guy, deselect over here, and over here we're now going to deselect this. Now I'm going to do Control 1 to go into the back. So over here I'm going to do Shift and right click to deselect this, deselect, then deselect and deselect. So you don't want to touch these 2 over here. Okay, now I'm going to do W and I'm going to do smooth 1 more time. So this is the second time. So now I'm going to do Shift and deselect this one and deselect this one and go into the front view over here. You're going to go ahead and deselect this, and this one over here. Now I'm going to zoom out and come over here. I'm going to do C and just with the scroll wheel just coming, and you're basically going to deselect all these guys over here like so, all the way over here. Okay, so the way this is here you can see that it's curving out. Then right, if you follow your mouse, these 2 should be selected over here, right? So basically this is where you should stop. So where this is, if I go to the left, I want to deselect these 2. So I'm going to do Shift and just right click these 2 and it will simply deselect. Now I'm going to do W and smooth 1 time over here. Okay, so this is the 3rd time we smoothed it. Now I'm going to Shift and deselect all these guys over here. Go up with the middle mouse button. You're going to deselect this one and this one. Okay, now you're going to hit it 2 times. W smooth, W smooth. Okay, now you'll see that what it did is simply just corrected the human form. So if I do Tab, just to show you what's going on, see, it automatically is getting the human form ready, making it more and more realistic in these small increments that we're doing, right? It's basically this idea of the formula system. And you get the little dent here because this is simply a landmark for this area for the muscle, okay? Anyway, so now what you want to do is zoom in over here, and now you're just going to right click this one and zoom in just about like this, and go to the left 1 and then 2, click on this one, go to the right 1, 2, click on this one, go to the right 1, 2. So where this is, you're just going to follow your mouse over here, and you're going to click on this one and this one, shift middle mouse button to go up, and 1 and 2. So this is the marking, the landmark marking to where the pec muscles are going to be. Now I'm going to go ahead and shift and also select these two, go to the right view over here, and now I'm just going to pull it out one time like this. Go to the front view over here.